All right, let's go ahead and begin. Hello and welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. My name is Brian Rowerding. For 8 years, I worked as a controller of a security systems integrator and implemented the product you're going to be seeing today. I'm excited to share with you how Lucid Consulting and Acumatica can help you solve some of the biggest challenges in the life safety and security industry. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'd like to begin with an overview of today's agenda. First, we're going to briefly discuss who Lucid Consulting is. Then we're going to move on to two major challenges in the life safety and security industry. Next, we're going to give an overview of the product that Lucid will be presenting today to help solve some of these challenges, Acumatica, and show you a product demonstration that will showcase some of the features that will help provide value to your business. Next, we're going to do a brief summary of the desired outcomes that can take your business from its current state to where you need it to be. Then we're going to wrap up with a preview of future webinar topics you might be interested in, and how you can contact us with any questions or to schedule a free product demonstration tailored to your business. Now for a bit of who we are. Lucid Consulting partners business and technology and has a knowledgeable and friendly staff that can assist you in getting the most out of your technology and business processes. We can help you with reporting, accounting, and operational workflows. We offer ERP solutions that can modernize your business and help you collaborate and integrate across your organization. We offer targeted solutions such as HR, customer relationship management, payroll, e-commerce, and more. Lastly, we offer custom solutions to solve challenges that don't have an obvious solution. We can build custom software and integrations to help you solve some of the biggest challenges to growing and scaling your business. But let's talk about why you're here today. There's two big challenges facing the life safety and security industry right now, namely managing labor and your customers' expectations. Right now, a big challenge is finding highly skilled labor, and it's very expensive to hire and maintain them. Another is your customers. They expect thorough and timely service. So let's take a look at some of the issues associated with these two challenges and then show how Acumatica can help you address them. Because labor is at such a premium, you must find a way to get the most out of your current labor force. Getting as many billable hours out of your technicians as possible is critical, and we can assist you with that. The best way to maximize capacity is to get real-time feedback from your technician. Where are they at any given time? Did they finish their current appointment early? Is there any immediate information needed to be sent back to the office before the tech gets back to the office? You also need to be able to manage performance. Are they arriving to the job site on time? How long does it take them to complete the job? Are they physically at the location of the job site the whole time that they're clocked in and out? Next, let's move on to your customers. So what do they want? Well, for one, they want a quick response, especially in the life safety and security industry. They want to know when you can look into their issue and how quickly you can do so. And they want more than just a response. They want a resolution. Customers also want to be updated throughout the process. Who hasn't sat through one of those 8-hour service windows? They want to know when you're going to be arriving. And what if you don't resolve their issue the first time they're there? What if you need a follow-up appointment? They want to know that what you found and what the next steps are. And if you did not resolve it, they want to know what happened and is there any way to prevent it in the future. Lastly, customers want to be known. They want peace of mind. They want to know that their needs are going to be taken care of and that you're going to be ready when they have an issue. They don't want to have to recommute to every new technician you have their needs. And Acumatica has the tools to help you know your customers better and be alerted of their needs. Now we're going to run a quick poll and see which of these pain points we brought up today resonates with your business. So give me one moment while I pull this up. All right, poll should be distributed. Please select anything that is resonating with you today. Give a little bit more time for responses. All right, it looks like knowing your customer's history and needs was a big issue. Thank you for that feedback. So now we're gonna move on to talking about Acumatica, and let's discuss what makes Acumatica unique from other software offerings. So Acumatica is a browser-based ERP system that was built from the ground up for the web and is supported by most browsers. It can also be deployed on-premise if need so. It has a role-based management system that's simple to use. Role-based meaning the functions someone needs to do their job are organized and easy to find. They are also easy to secure to make sure access to those functions are only granted to the right individuals. Acumatica understands that your data belongs to you and makes it accessible anywhere on any device as long as you have access to the internet. PC, Mac, phone, tablet, it doesn't matter. If you have access to the internet, you can get your data. Acumatica can be easily configured without the need for developers, and when customizations are needed, the architecture makes it cost-effective. Lucid Consulting has a knowledgeable staff with a deep understanding of technology, finance, accounting, and operations to help you get the most out of Acumatica software. Acumatica also supports multiple companies and branches or sites, as well as multiple currency if your business requires it. And I want to let you know that everything you're going to be seeing in today's product demonstration is using out-of-the-box functionality. No customizations or third-party integrations are required. Now, I want to let you know that Acumatica's modern user interface and flexible workflows are why Acumatica is consistently ranked highest in usability by Nucleus Research. Nucleus Research is a global provider of ROI-focused technology research and advisory services. Every day, their analysts assess and the financial and operational value of technological solutions and find out which solutions deliver real value and which do not. And clearly, they have assessed that Acumatica delivers real value to their customers. So before we begin looking at the product, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of Acumatica's workflows. There are many different ways of initiating service from one of your customers. So let's start with ad hoc. So you'll see across the top here, you could have a customer call in and say they have a dead battery on their system or they have a communication failure, and you need to schedule that one-time service order to get that tech out there. And you'll see here the workflow is that you'll create the service order. You can have multiple appointments under that service order, and that service order is allowing you to schedule your technicians, the services they're going to be doing, and any equipment that is needed to do the job. So this is the basic ad hoc workflow. The other kind of workflow you might have in Acumatica is quotes. Let's say your customers need to have their your service upgraded. Maybe there's a sunset on what they're working on and they need to go to a new system. You can send out a quote for service and then you can convert that into the service module and start the same process over again. Acumatica also allows for recurring work orders. Think annual inspections, fire alarm confidence testing, backflows. You can set those things in the system, and then every year when you have to schedule that for that customer, you don't have to go back and recreate the wheel. It's already there, and it's a reminder system to make sure that you're reaching out to your customers ahead of time, letting you know, hey, we know you have this need coming up. And lastly, Acumatica also has service contracts that are made for recurring monthly revenue. So if you have a customer that's billed monthly, quarterly, annual for their service, or let's say you have a customer that has a warranty, the system's able to track that and make sure that you're not charging those customers when you're not supposed to. So now I want to move on to the demonstration portion. So give me 1 second while I flip on over to Acumatica. All right, that's enough talk about Acumatica. Let's get you in and show you the product. You're going to notice on my screen here 2 separate logins. On the left, you have a web browser, and on the right, we have my mobile device that's being mirrored. And I just want to show that, as I mentioned, Acumatica is a true cloud ERP where you can get into Acumatica from any device. So let's go ahead and log in. The first thing you're going to notice when we log in is that the default view for this person is a dashboard. This is a 360 customer view dashboard that is available for all customers. Today what we're going to do is we're going to take you through an example of a service dispatcher receiving a call from a customer that has an issue with their access control system and show you what that process looks like inside of Acumatica. So let's go to service orders and let's create a new service order. All right, so you're going to notice one of the first things we're going to do here is we're going to select the customer. We're going to choose USA Bartending School. Acumatica is fully integrated with the CRM system, so the customer has more locations. You can get to that. If you needed to have different branches or locations that you're doing service out of, you could select which branch is being used. And if you needed to track projects to this service order, you would be able to create projects and assign them. In this particular case, we're not going to use any of that. Let's just get started by adding the fact that this customer needs access control service. So we'll add a service to this appointment. We'll go ahead and hit save. Now, as I mentioned before, Acumatica gives you the ability to know your customers. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the information that's at our fingertips here. So let's click on the pencil here to drill in and get a little bit more details about the customer. As you'll see here, there's a number of inquiries you can run from here. You can see any equipment that this customer has on their site, any service contracts they have with you, and you can also see past service order history and appointment history. So let's click on service order history, and I can get a quick view of any services that I've run for this customer in the last month. And you can change the scale, the length of the time, so that you can kind of hone in on what you're looking for. Say this customer had work done last year, you could go try to find that appointment and get more information about it. Coming back on over to Acumatica, we now need to schedule this appointment. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Actions, and we're going to choose Schedule on Calendar. Now, when the calendar board pulls up here, one of the first things you're going to notice is that there's multiple technicians on this appointment, on this calendar board. And so this particular appointment, we need someone that has the ability to do access control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a filter here, and I'm going to say, show me the technicians that can do access control. And you're going to watch that these two are going to shrink down to one. So let's filter and close. And now it's just Maxwell Baker. So we can go ahead and drag this over here and schedule it. And we'll wait for this to pull up. All right, so the appointment has been created. So let's go ahead and open the appointment. All right, so the appointment's open. And you can see here that it created it on the time that I dragged it onto the calendar board. And it has been assigned to Maxwell Baker. So first off, how did the system know that Maxwell knew how to do access control? Well, let's take a look at Maxwell's setup. We'll open his employee file. So Acumatica gives you the ability to assign skills to technicians. So this particular technician, we said, okay, he can do access control, he can do fire alarms, he can do test and inspect. It also gives you the ability to track licenses. Say you had a technician or a job where you needed to know that your technician had a low voltage or a journeyman electrician license. You could track that as well. And you could even track the expiration of it and use Acumatica to make sure that those important licenses are staying up to date. It also gives you the ability to assign service areas to a technician so that you can easily filter down to who's in the general area of the work that needs to be done. So coming back to the appointment here. Now let's say we needed to communicate to the customer that this appointment was going to happen. The dispatcher could confirm it, and they can go up to Actions, and they can send an email to the customer. And you're going to notice that this is going to go green, and in the background of the software, the email is going to the main customer contact, letting them know that their appointment is confirmed for this time. So now let's take a look at the technician's experience with this appointment. This appointment number is 6313. So we're going to come over to our app, and Acumatica can use all the features of your mobile phone, so we're going to use face recognition and sign right on in. And we're going to find the appointment list. We're going to browse to that appointment, 6313. So it's right here. It's dated for today. And one of the first things you're going to know that's nice about having this integrated solution is that your technician, if they want to find out how to get to this appointment, they can click this View on Map button, and it'll take them to whatever their preferred map app on their phone is, and they can even get directions. Now, I'm in a demo environment, so I am 2,300 miles away from this appointment, so we're not actually going to go any farther on this, but I just wanted to let you know that right inside the app, they can quickly get directions to the site without leaving, and they can pop right back into the app. So at the point that the technician had arrived on the job, the first thing that they would do is they'd want to clock in. So we're going to go ahead and start the appointment. All right, now let's back up for a second. Let's come back into Acumatica, and you see that this service order now has an appointment that's in process because I started the appointment. So let's go ahead and open the appointment back inside the web browser. And you can see here that the technician started this appointment at 11:29, so it now has an actual start time. Also, the system is giving the location where this punch happened. So if you want to know that your technician was actually on site on time when they clocked in, the system is tracking that information for you. You can open it up inside of Acumatica, and it'll resolve back out and show the exact location where this punch happened right there on the map. One other thing I wanted to point is, let's open up that appointment one more time. Let's say that this customer had a contract that was going to cover this service. You would want to know that. And you're going to be able to see here that there's a contract box that pops up for the customer. So you can quickly take a look here, and I can say, okay, this customer has a couple contracts. They have one for their Las Vegas location. They also have a warranty currently on a fire alarm system. Now we're dealing with an access control system, so neither of these are related to this, but it's a quick way to know if your customer has any contracts that need to be considered as you're closing out this work, whether they're going to be billed for it or not. Let's go ahead and close the appointment, and let's go back into the mobile app. Now, a couple things the technician can do while they're working inside the app. One thing is, let's say they discover while they're out there that the customer needs a new reader. So one thing they can do is they can come to comments, and they can use the voice dictation on the phone. Customer needs new card reader. And without typing, they're getting that right back in the app. You can save that. Let's say that the customer wants to take a picture of what they're finding out on the site and share that with someone back in the office. They can do that as well. So I'm going to hit Files. I'm going to take a photo. I'm going to take a photo of my Lucid cup because I don't have a reader in front of me. Go ahead and hit Save. Let's go ahead and back out of the app. Now, let's come back to Acumatica. And take a look what just happened. So now you'll notice there's a file up here. So that's my picture. That instantaneously, as I took that picture and hit save, it's now showing up back on my web browser. That's the power of the real-time trade-off of information between the technician and the dispatcher with Acumatica. Also, oops, I accidentally closed that screen. Also, that comment that I wrote is right here. So it's right back in the app. Didn't have to type it, could quickly voice dictate it, hit save, instantly is back in the office. Now, one of the things you want to do is you want to respond to your customer's issue quickly. And a lot of times what might happen in this situation is maybe the technician's out on the site and they call back to the office to order the part. They say, hey, the technician needs a part, we got to get it on order. Maybe they call back to the office and the dispatcher's already on the phone. Or maybe they come at the end of the day and the dispatcher's already left the office. Maybe they forget. Maybe it's not till the next day that you get this part open. So one of the things we want to do with Acumatica is we want to automate that communication. So coming back to the mobile app, we can slide on over to the additional tab, and I've got an attribute here you'll see called follow-up. So all the technician out in the field has to do is hit that box and save. And what's happening in the background of the system is that an email is being sent right now to the dispatcher, letting the dispatcher know that there's some follow-up that is needed on this appointment. And at the end of today's presentation, we're going to pop in and we're going to take a look at what all these different emails that are firing off look like. So now back in the office, we know that we need to order a part for this appointment. So let's go back to the appointment. And right from the appointment that's in process, we can come down here and we can add the part to it. Now we have a choice to make right now when we order this. We're gonna hit this box that we want to order the part for this customer because we don't have it in stock. We have a choice to make. Is this technician going to pick this part up at a store right now and bring it right back to the site, or are we going to have a follow-up appointment and take care of it that way? So in this particular case, we're going to have to go back out there because we didn't have the part that we discovered we needed. So we're going to make this purchase to service order. Hit save. Now let's go back to the service order. Let's refresh the screen here. And you're going to see that that card is now on the service order that I added the appointment, and the system knows that we're going to need to schedule this at a later date, but we're waiting for the part to come in. So what we need to do is we need to order this part. So all we have to do is go actions purchase from the service order, and this also can run in the background as an automation process. A lot of these clicks don't necessarily have to be manual. I'm just showing you for the sake of the demonstration. You can see here that this is ready to be purchased. It's going to run the process, and it is going to create the purchase order. Let that run. When it's successful, we're going to take a look at a dashboard here in a second. All right, so the purchase order has been created. We can remove this from hold. If this was a real example, we could go approve the PO, and we can go to actions and email the purchase order to the vendor. So without leaving Acumatica, we're doing all this work. We're communicating back and forth, dispatch to technician. We've communicated with the customer and confirming their appointment. Now we've just communicated with the vendor we need a part, all operating inside of one system. So now let's take a look at some of the things you can do with the information that's being generated here. So one thing you can have is a service dispatch dashboard, and these can be fully customized. This is a fairly simple example, but I come in here as a service dispatcher, and what do I see? I see that I currently have a service order that's awaiting parts. There's my service order. It's for access control service. There's the part. The card reader's on order. There's today's date. Now, we want to be notified when this is ready to be scheduled. So coming back over to the purchase order, let's say that it had arrived. We're going to enter the PO receipt. We're going to release it. Wait for this to finish. Okay. So now the part that we were waiting for the customer has been received into the system. Let's go ahead and come back to my dashboard and hit refresh. And we're going to see that now that service order is no longer awaiting parts. It's ready to be scheduled. So let's open the service order. And the service order is no longer flagged that it is waiting for purchase items. It now knows that there's an appointment that's needed because we have the service, the original service is on one appointment, but now we have this part that requires scheduling. And we can come in here and see the status from the service order that this PO was completed. It was ordered and it's arrived. At this point, let's go ahead and show the technician finishing up the appointment. Coming back to the mobile app, the technician can complete the appointment. They can say whether or not the work is finished today. So we're going to just go ahead and say that for today, today's work is finished. Hit save. All right, let's come back into Acumatica now. So there's the appointment now. We can see that it's completed. Let's go take a look at it. Okay, so we can see that this appointment has lasted for about 10 minutes while I'm doing this demonstration. Started here, started there, ended there. We can come over here. We can see that I started and stopped basically at the same location. I haven't moved. If this was a tech, they might be out at a customer site. It's a little bigger, but essentially you can check that they were in the location they said they were. A log is created the system letting you know that this technician worked 10 minutes on this service. So you've got that traceability and tracking in the system of how long these services are taking. So one thing I wanted to show, let's see if we can go back in on the mobile app. When the technician's out on the site and they're done with their work, if they want the customer to sign that the work was completed, they can hand their report to the customer and have them sign it right there. So, and that attaches their signature to it. They can go ahead and close this. And let's let it finish that process. Appointment's now closed. All right, let's go back into Acumatica. And if we wanted to, we could email that signed report to the customer right from here. So again, another email that's going out to the customer, giving them some details on the work that happened, showing that someone was on site and approved that work, so that communication is automated, continuing back to the customer. So let's show some of the data that we just captured while we were just working on the system. So one thing to note is there is the ability to do appointment history on map. And this is going to allow us to get some of that feedback data we want to know. Where was our technician during the appointment, when it started? So first off, this appointment is, let's back up a little. There we go. So this mark right here represents that this technician was in this site for the bulk of the presentation. If we were to go to the appointment is obviously this is a demo environment, so the appointment was very far away, 2,300 miles away. So the system actually knows that the technician, even though they clocked in that they were at this appointment from 11:29 to 11:39, they weren't there. They were where I am. So make sure that it gives that accountability to the technician that they got to the site on time, that they actually did the work, and gives you that visibility. Now, if you were using this for scheduling, you might say, well, where's my technician right now? You can hit this button and it'll show you every device that's currently on the map. So let's go back to closer to my location. So you see the D right there. I just hit that button. It's showing literally right now. It's going out and pinging every device in your company and saying, where are your guys right now, which is super helpful for scheduling. Who's the closest to the next appointment if you have an emergency? Are the guys on the way back? All that kind of information that would be extremely helpful in managing your technicians. Let's just take a quick peek now at those emails that were generated during the presentation. So you can see here there were 3 emails that were generated in this presentation. One is this one right here. Would have gone out to the dispatch letting them know that follow-up was needed on this appointment, has the appointment number. This one right here is going to be the appointment confirmation that would have went to the customer, letting them know that their appointment was confirmed, what time the technician was going to be there. And the other one we generated during this presentation was the signed appointment summary that was sent to the customer, letting them know that someone was out on site and reviewed that work. This would have been emailed to them automatically, and there's my signature. So as you can see, that shows the automation and the power of the communication back and forth between the technician. And that completes the demonstration portion of today's demo. Let's continue on. All right, so coming back over to our presentation here, you can see that we just went through this process right here of creating a service order, signing an appointment, scheduling. We did a little bit. We showed the adding the labor and the services and the inventory and ordering such as that. And one of the things we didn't get into, but it's just how quickly and easy it is to turn that appointment into an invoice inside of Acumatica. And we also didn't show the kind of the front end of the process, which is we kind of did the ad hoc one where someone called in and we went right to service order. So next thing I want to do is I want to move on to a case study and talk a little bit about how Lucid Consulting was able to help a security integrator with Acumatica achieve some of their goals. So Security Solutions was really primed to take their business to the next level and needed a solution that could scale with the growth they saw coming. And Lucid was really able to come alongside and help them be prepared to grow their business and move them from outdated technology to a modern single source of truth business solution. This is a quote from one of the managers of Security Solutions. He said, "We can get contact information to our guys a lot better, and we can put directions on how to get there. We're more likely to be on time. We get the inventory right away because it's built right into the system. We don't have to track it down, so billing is a lot more accurate. We don't have to go back and change anything because the inventory was wrong. Customers are more satisfied because of everything being more accurate and more timely." So this is what we're talking about. The end goal here is to have more satisfied customers that you're responding quickly to, getting it right the first time, not wasting those technician trips. Some of the key deliverables or results that came out of Security Solutions' decision to use Lucid Consulting and Acumatica are as follows. One is that they were able to connect their business systems, streamlining operations and saving time. They were able to gain a customer relationship management and opportunity tracking system that allowed them to have visibility into their pipeline. They improved inventory management, eliminating $10,000 to $15,000 write-offs annually. They also had improved visibility into their financial data with real-time access. We were able to provide remote access to work orders for techs in the field. So prior to using Acumatica, everything was paper there. They were able to move to that real-time trade-off with the technicians. The paperwork wasn't getting lost on trucks. It's much more efficient. Also, the reduced time to invoice with real-time and automatic time card entry. Instead of having to have the technician write down the start and stop times of their appointments, bring it back in the office and have it keyed in, it was instantaneously updated and you could just convert that right to the invoice. So you didn't have to wait to bill the customer. Maybe that paperwork got lost in the technician's truck. That really improved cash flow. Also, it brought in an improved recurring revenue and contract management system. So RMR is such a huge part of the security industry, and having that in the same system where you can manage your customers' recurring revenue is huge. Also, there was some improved customer service with an internal case management system. Acumatica doesn't just have what we're showing you here today, which is kind of that I'm rolling a truck out to a site, but it also has the ability to support in-house cases. Say you have IT staff that's working on people's servers or their camera systems, access control, things like that. Acumatica has a whole suite that can help you manage that as well. We were able to help eliminate manual and duplicate entries. Some of the things I already talked about, having the technicians write something down, having someone key it in. And if you want to find out more about this case study, I've included a handout in this presentation with a write-up on what came out of Security Solutions' decision to go to Acumatica. So now let's review. One moment here. Now let's review kind of the outcomes we've talked about today. Let's talk about how we can take your business from the current state to the kind of the outcomes that we've shared today. So there's three big things we wanted to go over today. One is maximizing technician capacity. And we talked about how did we do that, right? So what is the GPS? You can see where the technician is. You can be aware of where they are at any given time. That helps you schedule faster, make sure you know where they're at. Staff attributes. We talked about the ability to assign a job, a skill, a license, even a geographical area. That makes it so much faster when you're trying to schedule your technicians to make sure you can see quickly the right people to do the job. We talked about the visual calendar board. You can go in and see right in there in real time what slots are available, even if you have more than one person scheduling. We talked about routing. Your technician can use the mobile app to find the fastest path to the job. All these things help maximize your ability to get the most out of your technicians. Another thing we talked about is responding to the customer, right? So It's easier to respond to the customer if you have real-time information like a calendar board. It's easier to respond to the customer if you know where your technician is at any given time. And it's way easier to respond to the customer if you know their history. If you've got links to their contracts, their service history, their equipment, all in the same system that you're scheduling, it's much easier to respond to them and get them that scheduled appointment that they need and ultimately the resolution. And lastly, we talked about automating communication between dispatch, customer, technician. We talked about sending confirmations. We talked about sending summary reports. We talked about being able to have the technician follow up to the dispatch just by clicking a box in the mobile app. So one thing we didn't mention is that all of these features are not just able to be emails, but they can also be set up as text messages or push notifications on phones. So there's a lot of ways to communicate to customers inside of Acumatica and really automate that communication. And these are the benefits and the things that can really help your business accelerate and go forward if you decide to move forward with Acumatica. I just want to quickly wrap up here. I want to let you know that this was the first of kind of a 4-part webinar series where we talked today about exceeding client expectations by knowing them and maximizing your technicians. The next one for next month's going to be scheduled is going to be talking about reducing go backs. It's going to be really focused on the inventory management piece of Acumatica and just making sure that when you send that technician out there that they have what they need to solve it the first time, so they're not going back multiple times. That's wasting trips, it's wasting time, it's wasting technician capacity. And so we're going to talk about reducing or maximizing that first time fix rate and reducing go backs. In the third webinar, we're really going to drill into the mobile functionality. You saw some of it today, but we want to really focus on how easy it is to take payments in the mobile app, to bill the customer quickly and improve your cash flow. And then lastly, we want to talk about connected business. I know in a lot of industries, a lot of things can be separate. And in this industry, you've got customer relationship management, you've got finance, you've got work orders, you might have projects, you've got recurring revenue, and we're going to show how Acumatica pulls all that information into one system and makes it really user-friendly and easy. And lastly here, if you have any questions on anything you saw in today's presentation, or if you'd like a free discovery call, we can set up a personalized demo for your business, please reach out to us. You can reach out to us at info@lucidconsulting.com, or you can call our office at 360-306-5258. There's also a connection button on our website at lucidconsulting.com. We'd love to help you out. Love to see if we can help you achieve some of the success that Security Solutions and other of our clients have achieved with Acumatica. So again, I want to thank everyone for attending today's presentation, and I look forward to hearing from you all soon. Thank you.